Peace, family. Welcome to another edition of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. We are the #1 podcast for individuals seeking to end generational dysfunction. This episode is special. Man. It's special today.
It's dope. It's divine.
We got my brother from another mother. We go back over a decade. My brother Travis is in the building. Who are you, Travis? Let the people know who you are. Y'all know who this guy is next to me. Y'all know the co-host and cousin. Y'all know who we are. Who is Travis? Introduce yourself, brother.
Well, nice to meet y'all. I mean, my name's Travis, also known as Chef AT of the Greenhouse Network. I've been running that channel for about a year now, close to a year now. I've only been posting content for about 6 months. But like Sean said, I've known him for over a decade. I met him in school, mostly through sports athletics. He talked about his athletic prowess is a lot on the podcast. He was Hulk Hogan and whoever else. And but I think who I am, man, I guess it's pretty loaded. That's a loaded question. But I'm gonna say, me, family man. At this point now, today, I'm family man. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. And that's I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to become a better man myself. Being that family man is helping me become a better man. Watching y'all content, just being able to just see other brothers who on that same mission to just be the man of their family and just be that rock and just be something people can fall back on and just look up to. So as far as who I am, that's who I am. Part of who I want to be too, is in there. So, I ain't technically who I am yet. I don't feel like I am who I am yet, so that's a hard question for me to just answer right there. But hope I was able to give you something.
I like that.
I got plenty of food for thought, brother. Vegan food for thought, brother.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the vegan food for thought. It's crazy. Y'all inspired me to go back vegan. Yeah. Me and my wife was going to do it last year, but, man, watching y'all, I'm just like, nah, man, this started this year, man, I'm doing it. And that's when we both did it, man. Just hearing y'all talk about it, I'm like, what am I waiting on? I'm like, let me just do this, man. I was vegetarian for a long time. But just the vegan part about it, I was always just hesitant just because I like cheese. That's the only thing. I'm like, man, it's vegan cheese out here now that's pretty good. So, hey, man, it was easy, man. I appreciate y'all for that for sure, man. That's going to change my whole family course because now my daughter was born into a vegan household. We weren't vegan at first. So now she's born to a vegan household. She's vegan. So she's never eaten any meat, had any meat products ever in her whole life. Nothing that she's eaten has contained a meat product or dairy, anything. So, I could say that's a byproduct of me watching this and me taking some of that information to my household and applying it. So, what I mean? Thank you, brothers, for that, for sure, man.
How does it feel being original?
It feels blessed. It feels great being original. You're original, you're a leader. People have to come behind you and follow you. So it's always good being the first one to do something. So original people, deuces.
Nice. For sure. Thank y'all for that, man.
Wow, bro.
Appreciate it. And all people who've been watching this, man, I know y'all been seeing me every time. I be like, man, shout out to Travis. And I be talking about, then I be saying, man, yeah, man, I know y'all done saw me talking about the video. I'm like, man, he was cooking it like a steak. I was just watching that. He was cooking that steak video. Yeah, so this is the man I've been talking about. This is the guy, man. This is the man right here. We got him in flesh, man, and I don't care, man. I texted this to cousin. I told him as soon as I saw him, because this is my first time meeting him. But this is my brother. I don't care.
Nah, for sure, man.
This is my brother. I roll for him. I got him. I told Cuz that a long time ago because he be
did.
commenting
He did.
and you. I'm like, man, bro, be really rolling with us, and when you roll with me, I roll with you, man. So I feel honored for you to be our first guest, bro. I feel honored,
absolutely.
and I feel glad.
Yeah, man, I can't even believe I'm the first guest, man.
You
That's
are,
something
bro.
crazy,
bro,
man.
I feel honored, bro.
I'm honored.
I am as well.
I feel like, man,
Wow.
I feel divine. Like, dang, I always told Cuz, man, I'm like, man, we need to make sure when we get somebody on there, it got to be somebody who's the most active, and it really came true, Cuz.
Absolutely, we manifested.
Wow, that's the most active. That's hey, man, you know, and that's just me. Like I said, that's just me trying to be the person I am, supportive of my brothers. You know, like I knew you had the podcast for a second, but I was a little late to it. But when I caught it, I'm like, nah, this is it. This is good. I'm like, because I'm a podcast listener. I listen at work all the time. So as I started watching, I'm like, yeah, man, let me leave a comment, especially if it's something that touched me. In every episode, y'all say something that touched me. So I'm like, let me comment about that. Let me let them know what's up. And then at the beginning, I remember you used to always say, like, hey, man, leave a comment, have a question for us. So I'm like, hey, man, I'm listening. I'm going to do what you asked me to do, man. I got you. For sure, brothers.
And I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. And not only that, not only he been dope, man, he really doing a lot in his lifestyle, man. And I got a question for you, man. We was asking this question around everybody, man, on our Juneteenth, man. This is a question I feel like we need to ask all of our guests, man. It is what is your fam? What is your what was it? Cuz what is your?
What's your most common generational dysfunction in your family?
Man, the most common. That's an easy one. Bad eating. Just being unhealthy. Bad eating, man. That's, if all of my grandparents passed away in their 60s. That's a hand. That's a mouthful, man. All of them. Yeah, both sides. Like I ain't have not one of my 4 grandparents. And even my grandmother's husband that she was married to. So I technically had a 5th grandparent. And none of them made it to 70 anything. Nothing. And 60 years old, man, doing what I do for a living, I work around a lot of the elderly. So, I remember telling someone one time my grandmother passed, and the lady was just saying, like, and I told her how old she was. So, yeah, my grandmother had turned 61. She was like, wow, she's just a baby. The lady was maybe 97, but she getting around just fine and everything. She's like, wow, 61? She could never fathom something like that because that's such a young age, man. And to us, for a lot of us, we think 60 years old. That's not old, man, and I would say that, man, and it stems from a lot of just high blood pressure, diabetes, stuff like that. And a lot of that stems from what you consume, man. So I'm going to say unhealthy, just diet, just terrible diets. And we from Mississippi, so that's easy. Yep. We grew up eating chitlins, pig feet, hog mugs, and everything of the nature. Yep. Cheesecake and everything. That's the worst for us. Is it tastes, it's the best tasting. We prepared good, so as they say, they gave us the scraps, and we made feast from the scraps. So and to this day, man, people still love them scraps, man. People still eating that stuff, and it's taking us out slowly but surely.
I just figured that was a dysfunction though, because a lot of people in life, like I told Cuz this before, a lot of people in life when they lose family members, they don't see that it was a health issue. They don't see that it was the food. They don't. That necessarily doesn't click in with them. So a lot of people in here are watching. They can agree with you, but halfway they like, but I still don't want to change the way I eat. I'm not telling everybody to become a vegan.
Not at all.
Become more conscious of how you eat, please. But what made you be more conscious? What made you be more conscious that it was health and it was what they was eating?
Just being visual. Just honestly being visual and listening. I'm super attentive. So like as a kid, I was the same way. So I'll hear somebody say, man, your uncle over there, his legs hurting, he got the gout. He eating all that red meat. So I'm just like, red meat, like what? Just eating red meat? As a kid, I don't even know what red meat is. I'm not knowing they're saying beef or whatever this may be. I'm just hearing red meat. What are they talking about? And then I hear my grandma, I'm watching all my grandparents doing diabetes shots, shooting themselves up with the insulin multiple times a day. And you hear them say, so my sugar low. I got to eat, no. So then you could just put 2 and 2 together and know, like, hey, the food that I'm putting in my body is doing something to me that it's making me hurt this way, it's making me feel this way. So it's like just putting that together, man. Then, me and my grandma was really close. So that was a gigantic loss for me in life, And how old was I? Maybe 16, 17. Young, but
young, that's young age.
For sure, man. Especially one that, for most of my life, that's who I was housed with, So, to me, that was mostly my mother. It's like, mother, but my grandmother as well, man. But to see her go through what she went through, but mostly from dietary, because I was privy to a lot of things because I said I was so close to her. So I knew that she was told that, hey, if you was to be able to change your diet, this and this, we may be able to fix this. And she just was used to eating how she ate, man, and that turned into just a long line of just illnesses, and it led to her demise, But that's how I can say, man, that the food, I think is like the definition of insanity. You continuously see or do the same thing, witness it over and over and over. I'm losing this uncle, this auntie, this grandparent, this, and I'm not realizing like they all had the same thing going on, man. There's something wrong with me. I'm like, hey, if that's how I be, I'm like, if everybody else ain't noticed it, I can't be the only one.
Right.
Sound
like me.
I cannot be the only one in the family ain't noticed this. Like, what?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest generational dysfunction for sure is a dietary. And that's the way I noticed it, man, just by being visual as a child and listening. Man, a lot of people don't listen. People tell you what's wrong. People tell you what it is. Maybe not saying it in the way that might be able to educate you in that moment, but you need to be able to decipher and listen and hear, like, okay, his leg is hurting because he eat red meat or too much red meat or whatever it may be. I don't know. Still to this day, I don't know what to call. I stopped eating red meat probably 14 years ago now at this point. So I can't really say, but,
Yeah. Now, let me know if I'm wrong, but you said you stopped being vegan for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Then you came back. Can I ask you this question? First of all, what made you stop being vegan? Second of all, when you come back now, since you are vegan, what are you stopping? What are you stopping this time so you won't make the same mistake?
The reason I stopped the first time was just on strictly dietary. I was about 280 pounds or so at the time.
Yeah.
And that's why one thing I say, I don't necessarily always push nobody to be a vegan because it's a million ways to skin the cat.
I used to be that guy. I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah, don't be that guy because it's yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm not.
Yeah, you gotta give freedom of his choice, man. But I want to lose some weight, and I just knew, like, I started doing a deep dive and almost did so much research where I could almost call myself a nutritionist. I wouldn't because I didn't go to school for that, and that's disrespectful to the people who did that. But I knew I pretty much gained the knowledge to know, hey, I want to lose weight. I need to up my protein intake, cut my carbs out, and pretty much would go into a caloric deficit. I started to fast. I started to do a lot of things. So I wouldn't say I necessarily stopped it because I wanted to. I was real nervous about it, because I only ate for that period of time. I only ate poultry, chicken, turkey, and that was pretty much it. I would grill the chicken off and turkey off, and that would be my meals, and I was just I did that for about a year and a half, and I lost a total of, I think, 74 pounds in a matter of 9 months. So, and then, like I said, I started watching y'all, and then towards the end of that, and I'm like, okay, New Year coming back up, I'm going back. I'm like, I lost my weight, I've got my body weight down, so now I can live my life, man. And then just so happen the grace of it, because I'm a guy that blows up real fast. I can eat real good one time, be working out, be in shape, and then something happened, and I'm just like, dang, I done gained 30, 40 pounds. Like, man, I'm quick. But so now with this vegan, when I vegan in January, I blew my meniscus in December, so I wasn't able to run no more. I wasn't able to really work out and do what I've been doing to keep myself in shape. So with that, I'm like, just working, and got my surgery last month. Within that period of time, I only gained 9 pounds. 9 pounds. And most of that was probably, I mean, water weight and different things that, from eating so much carbs, because I eat a lot of fruit. I eat so much fruit every day. As a third of my diet is fruit for each day, at least. So I think most of that, man, I can say I can contribute that to just being a vegan. Not eating so many carbs in a day, or not calories in a day. My calorie count is low. Even when I do exceed calories, it might be 2,000 at the most, and I might think that's gross. I'm like, I stuffed I pigged out. Hey, 2,000 calories a day, but I kind of retrain my mind and my body now. So like, I don't have a bad relationship with food anymore. I used to have a terrible relationship with food, and I ate because I felt bad, or I ate because I felt good, or I ate because this, and now I just eat to give myself energy to go. Like I eat to live, pretty much. I don't eat to be happy. I don't eat because I need to. I'm not just, I'm a snacker. So it's like I gotta be able. If I'm a snack, let me get some grapes. Let me get some strawberries, some mango, whatever, something to just put something back, type stuff. So I say, that. Yeah. But you did say to not go back. How I can try to not go back into it, and easy way. I think. I mean, at this point, I don't know how I would go back, because the only way I would be to just to lose some more weight. But at this point in time, I think the amount of weight that I need to lose, I don't need to really do any special needs diets or anything with it. I can just do my normal workout routine, and it's gonna come off me at this point. So I don't feel like, honestly, and I got my family involved too now. So it's not like it's just me. I got my wife and my daughter there. So, I gotta take that into account too now. Like, hey, if I wanna break my diet, now I'm changing the whole household up. I can't just, my stomach gonna be just messed up. Now I gotta think about their stomachs too. And
speaking of the wife, how I feel about to be married.
Man.
To be married. Hey, we got some. We getting married here in a few days.
I'm in the building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Lead Your Lineage will be in the building.
You know what I mean? He can't stop by.
Yeah.
But how does it feel being married? First of all, did you grow up in a house with your mom and dad that was married? Second of all, how does it feel to be married and doing that for your daughter? And yourself and your wife and your family, just period. How does it feel?
Amazing, man. I'm honestly gonna say it's hard to put a word on it. Yeah. I'm gonna say that it's hard to put a word on it for sure. But and it's all happening so fast together. I'm still on the high of just being the first time father. Yeah. So like that high, I'm still on that. So like getting the marriage thing. Honestly, I mean, I don't just bringing y'all privy to the situation. This is actually will be our 1-year anniversary Saturday. We actually got married last year. So we're doing a ceremony so that everybody, all the families can join together, so because we was big on that, getting everybody together. I mean, we already had our union, but we now we got to join the families. I want my father to meet your father. I want this, I want everybody to know each other. So, I love that. I'm super excited about this, man. I think, I'm happy to get my family involved, to get some of them to see it. I think I told you earlier about my uncle. He told me, he never been to a wedding, and I think he's in his 50s. Never been to a wedding, So I'm glad to be able to be that person, to be that light, like you said. Then for my daughter, I mean, that's big. My wife is, I mean, she's amazing, man. Like she put stuff on my mind that I would never thought of, and I feel like I think of a lot. I feel like my brain is always moving and going, and she'll say something, and I'm like, God, what?
Yeah.
I ain't even. Where did you pull that from? What? Like, huh? Yeah. But and that was the main thing. When we found out we were gonna have a child, we were already planning to get married. It was coming down the line, but she was like, hey, before that gets here, I would love for us to all have the same last name on the birth certificate. Yeah. And I was like, wow, man, I didn't even think about that. I'm like, and I had to think, and you asked it about me growing up in the house with my family. Both of my parents' last names, both of my parents are on my birth certificate. They weren't married, so my mother's last name is not the same. Mm-hmm. So on my birth certificate, there's 2 different last names on it. Yeah. And, I mean, you can call that a dysfunction in itself, a generational. How many people of us have the same last names on birth certificates? So my wife was cognizant enough to even think that at that time to break that curse of if that was something. I don't know if that was what she was born to, but if her parents all have the same last name on the birth certificate, but she was cognizant to say, hey, but that in essence broke a curse for my family because hey, my birth certificate there's 2 different names. And I can bet you check my pop's birth certificate, 2 different names.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure my mom's birth certificate, 2 different names because none of their parents wasn't married.
And when your daughter get older, man, like she don't see that because my daughter does that all the time and it amazes me. She'll see me hug her mama because I show a lot of affection. I love her mama all the time. I do a lot of stuff for her mama. I treat her mama like a goddess she is. And all the time, my daughter the other day, what she said? And at first, I was like, man, but I thought I always breathe to myself before I say stuff, out of whack. She said, Daddy, when I get older, I'm gonna find a husband like you. At first, I was about to say, girl, what you talking about husbands for? But I was thinking that's a good thing. Man. She's talking about husbands at 4 years old.
Not really, man. No, serious.
So you know what I mean? So when your daughter gets older, she's looking at her mama because you got to remember her mama is her role model. You are her example of what her husband should be.
Yeah.
So always remember that, bro, man. I know you're gonna do it, man. I'm just giving out love, man. I already know. I already see it. I already see it in you. I wouldn't even have you in my podcast if I disbelieve this.
No, that's facts. No, I appreciate that for sure. I definitely appreciate that, man. That's what I'm out here for, man. That's what I'm. It is.
That's one of the greatest.
It is to be married when you for your family, and then like you said. I don't know if you even thinking of it that way, man. When you said that about your daughter, how she'll say like, "Hey, I want a husband." And you say, "Why you thinking about a husband?" You'll hear some young ladies nowadays. They'll talk about, they'll sit there and say, "It's my baby. I want a baby. I want it done." And that's kind of just, and that goes deep. That can go real deep once you're like, oh man, wait, But that's like, what are they hearing? What are they exposed to? So I hear a lot of that though. And to hear, I've never heard no kid, a 4-year-old talk about a husband. That's deep. That's deep, man. That's deep. And I don't think things of that nature should be so strange to us.
Nope.
I can't wait till we get to a point where that's not strange to us.
That's why I didn't tell her nothing bad. I said, if you find somebody like Daddy, he's gonna be a great husband. And I said, he can kick it at my house every day.
And I'm going to love him. Yeah, for sure. If you find me somebody like me, that's even better. Even better, yeah. Hey, my boy.
Hey, we at the crib, bro. Tell Brooke we be at the crib later.
Hey, for real, man. Yeah, bring somebody on like me.
For real. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
And that's dope that y'all are really exemplifying what strong fatherhood is for our melanated men in our generation specifically. So I appreciate y'all dialogue. I'm just sitting back just like, damn, y'all dope.
And this is our first time meeting each other.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, yeah, I got it.
But I feel like I know you though.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Chatting.
And I've been loving every moment of it. I'm like,
yeah, man.
We catching up and stuff.
Real talk, yeah. Like, I ain't seen 20 years.
About 10 plus years, y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? Get out y'all way. Y'all do y'all thing, man. That's dope, man.
I think, cuz, man, you being tipped. You connecting great people with people, man.
Yeah.
Every time I meet somebody, they say something high about cuz, man. Nobody got something that, only one person I know that got something bad to say about you.
You?
That's me.
Nah, hell no. I'm gonna have to come back, man. Every other episode, I always say this be your own people. Your own people, man. It be your own people. It would. That's fact. That's fact. Both ways. Both ways. It be a fact. So I say something bad about him, we own that. Vice versa. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Absolutely.
I got something bad to say about you. But no, man. So for real, man. And the fact that we both melanated dark brothers with locks, with ether nines or whatever you want to call them besides dreads.
I just had to tell my little brother that today. I was on the way here. I dropped him off. He's like, "Yeah, it's something about the dreads." I'm like, "Hey, man, we don't call them that." And it's like, it's nothing dreaded about my hair. There's nothing dreaded about my hair, man. Locks are beautiful. I get so many compliments on a daily about this stuff, man. I'm sure you too.
Yeah, we're gonna get cuz gonna be locked in.
I might have to get the fro on. The fro on. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We gonna have to.
As long as you got the black pick with the fist on that thing, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Steve Harvey, man. Hey, bro, he had that Steve Harvey that one. He came through. I said, "God, look at you, man. He looking fresher than Steve Harvey." He did. Hey, we gonna have to call it the Sean Washington haircut or something.
Sean Franklin. Oh boy.
Man, hey, man, we ain't saying that in real life, man. Y'all did that for the camera.
I can eat that one.
All right, right on. We ain't doing that. But yeah, man, that's dope, man. Y'all chemistry was just like meeting each other in person for the first time. Like you said, Travis, it's like y'all brothers that's reconnecting. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Cause I watch y'all, so I feel like I know some of the stories he tells. Like I know these stories too, man. I'm like, I know this man. I'm like, yeah. I really didn't watch y'all. What episode you on now?
We got 51 out now. 51. We aging ourselves well.
And I done seen every one of them, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I done seen every one. I try to leave a comment on every single one, man.
Thank you.
For sure. I appreciate y'all, man. The content is needed, man. And I'm telling you, I've been telling my people about it. Like I'm talking about my mom on the show. I put my pop on the show. I told my uncles, I'm like, man, watch this. Because I want y'all to really understand, man, where I'll be coming from when I'm talking. Like, understand this, man. Yeah. And they do. They with it, but, they kind of be, slow to the information, as most people do.
And that feeling that you said that when you saw earlier when we first was talking, you said the connection you saw with your daughter and all that, man. Can you explain that a little for them? Because, he live outside.
Yeah. Just living in Colorado, she was born out in Colorado, in Denver, and I grew up around all my family. Yeah. Regardless, I know how y'all say like second cousins and stuff. Yeah. I grew up around first, second, third. I just saw one of my second cousins over at the grocery store before I came here, and she saw me. She was like, "Oh, what's up?" But I was just telling her. She was asking me about the baby. She was like, I wish you had the baby with you, and I was like, man, I wish I did too, man. I wish I ain't have to just drop her off. No, I wish I was able. Everywhere person I saw, she was able to see, man. Because you seeing that her face, man, just because she's such a happy baby. Just seeing her just brighten up when she's seeing some of my family members and stuff, and reaching for them, and just seeing it, man, it's putting joy, just energy in me. Just seeing it, man. Just because it's all we got, man. I actually came up, and I'm from Mississippi, so we grew up. We actually took baths together. Like with your cousin. That sounds crazy now, but you get in the tub with your cousin, man. Y'all getting there. It's 6 of y'all. We all need to take a bath tonight, so y'all both getting there together, and y'all next two gonna go in, and that's how I grew up, man. So it wasn't nothing that a shirt off a back was nothing for a family member, man. We would give anything. So growing up now, I want my kid to have that relationship with family. Yeah. With family, man. She got niece. Well, I got other nieces and little nephews, and they're around her age, and I'm so happy that they're around the same age. Only thing is that we out of town, so as much as I'm here, man, I want to just have her near them, just be with them around there. My sister's oldest daughter and her share a birthday, so both of our oldest kids have the same birthday. So I'm sure that's gonna always keep us together. We're gonna always be throwing joint birthday parties. Yeah, so man, we be back here in September. I think Sean, your birthday's on the 4th. Yeah. Right? You and him and my sister share the same birthday. Oh, so yeah, my sister's birthday on the 4th too. So we'll be back here in September.
I think I'm going to Atlanta on the 6th. This is like a grand opening for a school.
Oh man, this boy, stay. You speaking?
I'm just going down to support. Just like this, the people that I've been like really rocking with for a minute. They have a privately owned Black entrepreneurship school in Illinois called Kika First Entrepreneurial Academy. Shout out to the McDavids.
Man, you're consistent, man. You are consistent, man. I'm telling you.
They got their school in Rockford.
You don't miss a beat, man.
They about to open up one in Atlanta, so that's going.
I tell you, man. I one thing that you said something, man, and it might have been one of y'all first few shows, the podcast. I remember, and it always stuck with me. You said Coach Woody told you to get active or to get involved.
Get involved. Yeah.
Get involved, man. That touched me. Yeah. That touched me because Woody, that was my guy too. I'm like, man, rest in peace, Woody. But that here, just that there, get involved, man. And seeing you do that now, and that's giving me, I'm at a point now of how I want to. I'm at an age now where I can to start to try to maneuver around and try to get into the community where, regardless of where I live, and that I needed to hear that because it was just the simplest thing you can hear. Just get involved, man. Go down somewhere and figure out what you can do. It ain't got to be a master plan. Like you said, we talked earlier. You said, it ain't always got to be about a dollar amount. Your free hands can change somebody's day. You just go out and be available to something, and that's why I asked you where you speaking, because I'm like, man, you stay on, like, you just, that's lovely, man.
Actually, I spoke to a group of young people today here at P30. It was like 15 of them.
And I'm not 13, there yet, but I would like to get into a role where I can speak and do things of that nature, but I'm not there yet. I don't feel, but I may be, but never been in the right situation to do it.
You have been in the right situation because you've been 14, 15, 16 before.
Okay, I'll say that then.
You've been there.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there.
You got to find the people that let you in the door.
Okay, see, that's it there, man.
That's literally it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how I started speaking, I wasn't looking for a dollar, just like what Coach Woody said, give back. And then when my Pop's homegoing service, it was a random dude came up to me. He was like, when I was younger, your father helped me get out of trouble. They were probably about 20 years apart at that time. So I'm like, okay. It's literally in my blood now.
Wow.
Like, this is my environment with Coach Woody, and this is my blood with my pop.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is literally within me. That's truly my passion.
And that's crazy. That's something I've been finding in myself lately. Is of my whole life, I've always known I've had this certain anointing just to want to help people or just want to be just there for people and do things. But how you you young and you kind of run from what you feel like your calling might be. You're supposed to be there. I'm like, but I want to go have fun with the bros. You know what I'm saying? I want to go do my thing. But it kind of just, that get involved hit me strong, man. That hit me deep. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm leading to. I'm leading to do that, man. I'm watching you heavy on that, bro. I wanted you to know that.
I appreciate you for that.
For sure, man.
Thank you,
man.
Sleeping on yourself, man.
Yeah, nah, man. You need them flowers, bro.
Cuz don't sleep on himself.
You need them flowers.
Cuz just be needing even more flowers. I'll be making sure you get them himself.
Man, I don't be I just wake up and breathe. I be chilling. You know what I'm saying? No, I appreciate y'all brothers for that.
Nah, for sure, man. No,
thank you.
You doing what a lot of people say they want to do. Yeah. You doing it. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people say they want to do it. You doing it. And look, man, looks pretty effortless. You know what I mean? I know it's a work behind the scenes, but dog, I just wanted you to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, for real. And I'm sure I ain't the only one that noticed it. I'm pretty sure you get them calls or just DMs every other day. Somebody just saying they see it. I appreciate it, brother, for sure. For sure.
Thank you for that, bro. Thank you, man. Thank both of y'all for them flowers, man. It's for real. That touched me. Real shit. So thank you for that. Man, so let me ask you this, Travis. In terms of family, right? What is your favorite family memory of all time?
Favorite family memory.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I've never even tried to think of a favorite family. I'm going to have me sitting here all night. Dang, man, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, that's great question.
I'm going to go. I see now. That's the second one that hit me in the stump. Like, all right, I'm going to have to say my last time been in the kitchen with my grandma. You know? Yeah. You know, I'm gonna have to. I mean, I don't want to sadden it out or just make it like But yeah, man, I think I want to say that's probably just because that was her happy place. You know what I mean? That's what she was just at peace. And I see her cook herself to death in there, and she'd be like, "How are you in here still?" Yeah. It's like, you know, like, what? You been in here since 3 a.m. Started cooking pies at 4. Like, why are you in here? Yeah, but like that's what's her passion. So like, it's what she wanted to do. So. I used to be there. I'm like, go sit down. Like, go chill. Yeah. But that last Thanksgiving, you know, I was spent in the kitchen with her, just cooking and cleaning and everything, and just being in her presence, you know, just soaking it up. And that's just a strong memory in my mind. So like, I can say that's probably one of my favorite, because it's so many. But I'm gonna just say for a favorite because that's the lady was so close to me, and that was me seeing her last time in her like glory type stuff, you know what I mean? Getting to see her in her glory. So, you know what I mean? I would say that right there, man. Just, you know, and after that she kind of got sickly and, you know, 6 months later or so, I think she had passed. But just that right there. It was a happy time, man, you know. I was doing what I can, but that's where I got my game from, you know, my grandma.
I feel that.
I probably learned something that day to learn how to cook, you know.
You learn a lot sitting at your elders. They the ones who talk. They the ones who already didn't live this life. They the ones who gonna be your ancestors. They the ones who you gotta learn how to feel their presence. So when they gone, they can help you through this life. Mm-hmm. You know, so people be sleeping on their elders. I call my grandma every day or every other day. Shout out to Grandma Barbara Jean. She come to everything I throw, everything I do, my grandma gonna come through. If nobody come through, I know my grandma gonna come through.
Yeah, that's how it be, man. Big mama, you gotta love her.
My grandma, little mama, she about. My grandma, little mama. She about like this dog, man.
She show up though, man. That's it. That's it, man.
Shout out to Auntie.
Yeah, that's another thing I've been telling a lot of people about. That's why everybody be talking about this. Like you keep saying, like, well, I don't think we said this on there. I think this one was talking off camera. A lot of families, we don't got that grandma. A lot of people in our age, the grandmas coming up, they not as active, and they wonder why the youth acting like that and rob an old lady, rob an old man. That's because they don't see this old lady as their grandma.
That's it, man.
They don't, you know, they are they talking rude to them because they don't see this is somebody else's grandma. They don't even got a grandma their damn self.
And then half the time, grandmas nowadays is 48, 52. So, you know, grandma don't even look like grandma. Yeah. She looks like mama. You know, like, grandma don't look like grandma. Ain't no excuse because, you know what I mean? You're supposed to be respectful. But at the same time, you know, man, that's...
The narrative, man. I think the narrative has changed on our melanated woman, man. They don't want our melanated women to be that family-oriented person. The man, too. They don't want either one of us. The child, everybody in the system, they don't want us to be family oriented because they're taking the kids away by the technology. They're taking the fathers away by being, you know, steering us through this path or that path. They're doing the women the same way, and it's all getting away from family.
It's an attack. You know, it's an attack.
But you know, you can find they instructions and they strategy where you can find they film. That the film, what do they call, you know, in sports, where you can find their film, they playbook. You know where you can find their playbook?
What's that?
Willie Lynch. That's one book. You can find their playbook. One book you can find their playbook.
Absolutely. History's gonna repeat itself. Yeah, it's gonna always repeat itself.
Those same stuff that's going on right now with separating family, it shows you how they separated our family. It literally breaks it down and say, if you do this, they'll be separated for over 200 years. Their families will never get together.
Oh, yeah.
And why was it so important for them to get the families away? Because like you said, bro, what you say earlier, you'll do anything to see your family get all together, to see what you created.
Yeah.
To see what you have made, to see what you know, and you want your creation to see where you come from.
Exactly. That's power in that.
Yeah.
There's power in that.
Mhm.
You know, we strengthen numbers.
Yeah,
And hey, man.
we lost that.
And that's the deepest thing there to think about, man. Is we don't think about that strength of numbers thing. You know, I think I've heard you say that, you know, you want to go, what do you say, you want to go fast, go alone, go far, go with others.
Yeah.
I learned that from listening to y'all, man. It's like just hearing that, like, yeah, man. Well, nobody even really think about that. You know, everybody kind of glorifies get it out the mud on my own. I got this on my own. And then honestly, it's very impossible to get it out the mud on your own. You're going to need somebody, man.
Absolutely.
It's very impossible. I don't know one person who ever got anything out the mud on their own.
It don't
Doing
feel
anything.
right, and it don't make logical sense at all, bro.
No.
And then on top of that too, like with my book, right? The people that really were instrumental in helping me go from idea to having it out in real life online, it was been all melanated women. All melanated women, bro. I had my cousin to help me accountable and stuff, like checking out, hey, cuz I'm going through this, but like who was really with me in the trenches on the book for real, melanated women.
And that's something I was kind of telling my brother that, man, you know, I didn't necessarily put it in the stance of melanated women. I kind of just said women in general, they kind of a battery in the man's back, you know. It give you a purpose. It give you something to do, you know. It give you, and honestly, like we said, I just say something that just throw you left. As we, you know, as men, we super analytical. We gonna break it down. We gonna make the plan A, B, and C, and we know how it can go wrong and won't go wrong. And then they'll say something, you be like, yeah, ain't no way. Like, okay, now I gotta go back to the drawing board because I'm doing this all. I didn't thought about it the wrong way, you know. So, yeah, man, having women around, period, you know, and that's why I was always glad. You know, when I always wanted my kids, I always said I wanted a daughter first. I want my daughter to be born first. I'm gonna raise her to be a leader, more so, but just a nurturer, somebody that can take care of everything else, right? Because I think about it, I'm like, hey, I was born first. I know me. I'm like, if I get a boy, I'm like, hey man, feed your sister. We about to go. Da da da. You might be outside throwing the football, man. His little sister in there hungry, and it's like, come on, man. I told you that the cereal was on the counter. You know how little boys is, man. We was all there, like, yeah, I was supposed to do it, but I thought I had the last 10 minutes, and so I was gonna try to pour the bowl. Nah, man, you know, but a girl's gonna take care of that, you know. She gonna make sure the house is straight. All right, little bro, you got your cereal over there. You good? Hey man, 4 o'clock. You can go outside. They said at 5:30 you gotta come back in. You need to take a shower. The girls gonna get it right. You know they gonna be on it, man. Young man.
Yeah, my daughter be on me, man. Be
on you.
I be feeding them or something, and then Daddy, I'm like, what's up? You need to sit down and eat too. I'm like, oh man, all right. And I can't say no. Yeah. I'm just like, dang, she's telling me the truth. So I'm like, man, dang, all right, let me sit down and eat. You know, she be on it. Like, she be on it, making sure.
That's what we need them for too, man. To give us, not to give us a break necessarily, but to just let us know, like, hey, sit down. Sit down. I think I heard you say it in more of a recent show. I think you said that about, you were talking about your father. I think it was saying that, you know, when you got to have time to take care of yourself to be able to enjoy the family. You know, like you got to take care of you too. And they good at knowing that. They're seeing when you short circuiting, you just running off gas, you fumes, and they like, hey,
yeah, bro, it's like, man, they don't realize, like they like at them young ages, and I'm speaking from experience because this was me in these shoes. Like what y'all having younger children right now, like I didn't care about how much money my dad made. I cared about my dad being here.
No, yeah.
I didn't care about the quality of time he was there. You know what I'm saying? He gave all he could. But he just didn't know to pour into himself. Or if he did know, he just didn't do it. Yeah. No, and that was him and his experience on earth, but I just cared about him being there. He was there. You know what I'm saying? So with this is from like experience, like having my father and then not like really getting into manhood and he like getting up out of here, passing on. Like they just gonna care that y'all there.
Yeah.
Like real shit. Like just be there. They gonna remember that shit for the rest of their life. The one picture I got when I'm with my dad, smile. I'm cheesing left to right. I'm like this.
Yeah,
cheesing like a mug.
Hard.
Yeah, cause
you remember that?
Yeah. It was in the basement. We was either at Tech or my grandparents or my grandmother's basement. It was one of them.
Wow.
I had a blue shirt on. I think I had something in my hand. He had his arm around me. I'm cheesing left to right. Cause one of the best moments of my life. Real shit.
That's big, man. Just being there. You know, I didn't live around my pops for most of the time of my life. We mostly stayed in different states for a lot of times, but we was always connected. You know, we was always talking, and we've always maintained a relationship. You know, my whole life. So I was always there for that. But, you know, you do need somebody there in a physical sense too. You know how you said, man. And
absolutely.
I always just found that in coaches and whoever, you know, and or just the homies. You know, I was able to find that there. You know, so my mom was always married, but never with nobody I ever clicked with. You know, so you know she was married a couple of times, but neither of the fellas I clicked with. So I never really had a relationship with them, you know, to treat where I felt like they was a father figure or nothing like that to me. So I didn't say I was always able to just go out and like I said, I was visual and I understood, I listened, I watched. You know, I had a lot of uncles made a lot of mistakes, so I was able to learn from a lot of that and just kind of, I guess, go the opposite direction. You know, you know, for some situations or just think I was smarter than my uncle. You know, like uncle he wasn't smart enough. He did it the wrong way. I'm gonna do it this way, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, it's all wrong. You know, it's all wrong, and I want to be part of that generation, especially in my family, to just change the whole narrative. I want my family, my cousins, and everybody else to see me doing good in life, but not having to do the just the everyday, the unnecessary, just the bull that go on with a lot of our families and different things that some of them might have to do to get by, but like that's all they know. So, you know, just showing somebody, man, you know, like I don't do nothing out of line, I don't do nothing crazy. I can live a nice life and, you know, take care of my family and do things and have my family be a part of it as well. But I don't have to do that while dragging y'all into dangerous situations, you know, like putting y'all at harm's way and doing all that crazy stuff, man. We can come right over somewhere, be a nice little place. And I'm trying to get my family to adapt to nicer environments. That's what I was saying about, like, I loved how nice this place was, man. I'm like, what? They got this over here? Like, just being able to see something that nice is so different. Like, you know, as a kid, I'm from Mississippi, man. I used to bug out when I came to Indianapolis. Like, because I always had family over, so we would come to visit. Just seeing them big buildings downtown, man, it used to blow my mind as a kid. I'm like, yo, what? They got buildings that tall? What's in there? Like, what they got in there? Like, you know what? This city big, man. I'm from a 2-mile road town, you know, from dirt road.
What city? What town?
Clarksdale, Mississippi. That ain't the city I'm from, but the 2-mile dirt road was Lambert, Mississippi. That's why I did most of my middle school and high, like, where I grew up. These dirt roads, man. Like,
I got family in Mendenhall, Mississippi. I don't know.
I know the word.
Is Lambert like north or south?
North.
Okay, that's south.
Yeah,
Mendenhall, south.
Northwest, kind of is like about 40 minutes outside of 45 minutes outside of Memphis.
Okay, yeah,
Northern Mississippi. Yeah, but you know, just growing up down there, man, you know, small town, you know, but being able to come up here, that's why I say I think my life has really just cultivated me to be the man I am now, because having that exposure from Mississippi to there, then going back to Mississippi, being able to tell homies, nah, man, this city big. It's big cities out here, man. Dudes out there driving big Cadillacs, man. I seen the Escalade. I seen, you know what I'm saying? I seen some stuff, dog. Like,
bro, I just saw it, like with my own
eyes. Nah, man. That stuff real, man. That building was taller than all these houses put together, man. But you can go back and tell your man that, and he be like bugging out, like, that's crazy. But like, it's like I said earlier, it shouldn't be that normal to us. It shouldn't be normal stuff. Shouldn't be weird to us or extravagant to us. You're in a skyscraper, but you from somewhere, you ain't never been nowhere. You know, it's the same person. You take a person that lived in Indianapolis, ain't never left Indianapolis, take them to New York. They're gonna bug out. Dang, man, what? That's like 5, 6 Indianapolis put together. Like, you can see it right here on the skyline. That's crazy. You know, you're gonna bug out. Like, living in California for a little period of time, another thing, you know, got me out of here at a crazy tumultuous point in my life where I could have chose either path. Like, it could have went crazy. I got to California. I'm like, man, these palm trees. I'm like, man, this stuff nice out here, boy. These people out here, everybody smiling. People happy. Was out there for about a couple years and just being able to just see that change, come back here. I knew I could never stay here. I said, nah, man, I gotta go. You know, I can't never stay here, man. I was probably here for about 8 months, and I moved to Colorado, and I've been there since. You know, and been there since, man. But because I seen too much at this point to, like, you know, I love my family here, but I want to be able to. I just couldn't, you know. I'm like, it's too much, just old, you know, I had to go somewhere fresher, you know, if that makes sense, you know, being somewhere fresh, to start somewhere new. Like I said, now my daughter, the only person in any of my family that I know of that was born in Colorado. Like, ain't nobody in our family say that, period. Like, what? Yeah.
And a vegan, that's divine. And she's born vegan and born
in a married household. It was originally supposed to be a home birth, but the home birth, we had a little complication during the home birth. We had to go to the hospital to finish it off, but everything went smooth, you know, and man, but the next one we planning on doing the home birth.
Yeah, that's hard, man. We working on that right now, me and my wife. She's doing stretches and doing yoga.
Oh yeah.
All of that, man. So fellas, make sure y'all help y'all. That's why it's important for us to be there with your
gotta be there.
And be there with have her be your wife, because when she's your baby mama, you don't feel like going through all that. But when she's your wife, it's
you got to. Yeah. It's a part of you, man.
Yeah,
it's a part of you.
If you want to take care of her a little bit more, you're like, you know what? I got you. Because you don't want nobody else stressing your wife out. You feel me?
Nah, and then, you know what I mean, with that shit, when your baby's in there cultivating and growing, man, you want that woman to be as low stress. Any bit of stress can cause it can cause lots. So you want them to be as low stress as possible, being able to be there, being active. You know, the first couple months of my daughter's life, I just took off work. I didn't work at all. I was like, I'm at home, you know, like we here, figured it out. And man, I'm telling you, that was the best 2 months. I was able to build a relationship because, you know, as men, we got to work. You know, we go out, we go to work, and we lose that personal connection with the kids. When they're young, at least. You know, they get a little older and they realize, oh, daddy at work. But when he come home, there he is. But when they're a baby, you know, you just like, you got to be there. They got to see your face. They got to see you, you know. And that 2 months was definitely just, it had to happen. You know, I can't see it happen no other way.
Because I recommend that all the time, don't I? I said when a baby first born, women need to let the man spend like total time with the baby.
Oh man, when we first came home, I was taking control, man. I'm like, I was waking up at 4 o'clock. I'm waking up at 4, get the baby a bottle, leave her up here by herself. And when she come downstairs, when she ready to get up for the day, that's when the brother to then we downstairs, we kicking it. You know, feed the baby, do everything. We gonna go for a walk, come back, you know, and then be like, just give mom time to recover, man. You know, they say it take a year for that woman to recover after having a baby. A year. So, you know, man, them first 2 months, she needs you. You know, you need you. You know, if you a man, you gotta be there, man. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it's gonna make the bond of your family stronger with your wife and your kid. Yeah, man.
You get to get that connection that a lot of people don't have with their kids. Your kid ain't gonna just be mama this, mama that. My kids is daddy and mama. Mama and daddy.
No, for sure, man.
See, I'm on my third one. I got
congratulations.
I got a daughter. She's 4. She's about to turn 5 October 11th. My son, he's 2. His birthday is December 28th. And my daughter, who she coming up. She's due.
A girl.
She due October. I think October 11th. The same.
Congratulations, man.
Same day as her sister. So, man, so I know how that is having kids, man. And that's something that I applaud you doing, man. Because I'm glad. I always tell people be married so it can look good for your kids, and I'm glad you're doing that, man. And another thing I want to ask you, said, man, you know, because it affected me a lot, man, and you know, a lot of people don't understand this. I want a lot of single mamas to really hear this too. How you felt like, you know, with your mom, you know how she had multiple partners. Because I really think I got close to one of my mama partners. He happened to be my sister daddy. But anyway, man, played a psychological role on me, man. As I got older, man, and I had to, you know, go through a lot of deep, dark places, man. So, did you experience that same thing, man, with that? Like, because a lot of mamas don't know that when you with whatever man you with, that man necessarily he living in your house, so your son gonna have to have a relationship with him, and they can have a mental effect on that.
No, I did. I mean, I ain't gonna say it was too poignant, but like it was definitely a period of time in my life I had to adjust with that. You know, just being like, hey, you know, you start getting older. As they say, you start smelling yourself. You know, like I'm about 14, 15. I got a little weight on me, you know, like, hey, man, this man might not be the most respectful to my mom, or he might not be the most, or just, you know, as you get a little older, you know, you kind of start to figure a few things out. And you like, oh, no, that's not the way that's supposed to go. You know, like, hey, I don't really see this. I don't see this as being like a positive thing for my mom to even be in this, you know, this situation type thing. So, you know, seeing that, I guess, you know, but, you know, moms is going to be moms, you know. They going to do what they got to do to protect the family and protect their children, you know, at the end of the day. So, like, you know, I never was put in those situations that was privy to a lot of the stuff, but, like, I know, like he said, how I felt in certain situations is definitely a thing when you got a man in the house, but you don't necessarily feel no connection to that man, and you going through things as a young man, and you like, damn, I don't really feel like I got nobody I could talk to about this. Like, you know, and then maybe when they try to talk to you, you know, about it, it ain't really in the necessarily because you ain't really their biological son, so they're not really gonna pour into it how they probably should pour into it. They might just, you know, breeze on by it and just say, hey, man, you know, your mama told me, you know, you good? And it's like, yeah, it's not really the conversation you really need to be having. You know what I'm saying? That's not really how you really need to have that conversation and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, it's definitely something, man. And I would say, you know, people gonna get in relationships. You know, nobody want to be single, but you know, I say the thing is to just really vet the people that you're gonna have around your children. You know, and then if you go further to marry the people, make sure before you marry that person that person really has a relationship with not just you but your children. If you already have children outside of that relationship with that man. You know, that's something I've always seen. You know, you see a guy, I mean, you will see those relationships and you kind of just know, like, okay, this guy ain't really here. You know, he don't even talk to them kids. You know, it's like, hey, he just kind of, you know, and that's not a positive relationship because honestly, man, if a person can't pour into your kids as much as they can pour into you, you know, and because I mean, those kind of relationships is going to happen. There's a lot of people out here that a lot of different situations, and especially in a city like this, and necessarily got to be that the father left. It could be he might just not be with us here no more, you know, and this woman still got to be here to figure things out. So, you know, with that, you got to really be on top of it, man, and then your vetting process, you know, you got to really know these people. And if you're gonna bring them around your kids, you gotta. I'll say this: if you're gonna take them around your kid, you gotta feel safe that you can leave them with your kid. You know, don't have if they can't spend the night over there, don't take them over there. Don't have them around there.
Yeah,
real talk. I mean, that's it. If you don't feel comfortable with them spending the night, I don't even have them around, man. Yeah.
If they can't be respectful enough, if they're not up to par, don't have them around your kids because you never know what you're gonna have to do. You don't want to put yourself in that situation.
Or your kids more so.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to put your kids in
not at all, man.
Definitely don't.
And that's something I'm big on now. Like, you know, that's gonna be disagreements in relationships and marriages and everything. But like that's something like, you know, because you have, you know, you have you're a biological kid with your wife and everything, so you know, hey, we gonna disagree on things, but hey, we gonna have a certain way that we are gonna disagree on it because these are my kids, they're your kids, and we both love these kids, and we not gonna do certain things in front of them. We don't want them to see certain stuff, even, you know, just protecting their innocence. So like when you got the man, he not really having a relationship with the children in the household, and he's just coming in and so say sparks get to flying. And now they just throwing, you know, they insulting each other right in front of the kids. They, you know, they yelling and stuff, you know, they just belligerent right in front of the kids, you know, and nobody really even thinking about how that's making that child feel, you know, in that period of time. So that's big on having this like somebody you can trust and that could be around that love your kid like you love your kid. You know, that's not gonna put you in a situation to make you react. That's not gonna, if you do something to them, not gonna react because hey, when we got the children's around, you know. And that's something that just back to that question you asked me about just being in the house with my mom and just her having different partners. That was always a thing, you know, just being like, hey, you know, as I got older, it was becoming like, hey, nah, y'all do this somewhere else, you know, because I have my younger sister back here, you know. Now she really, you know, she don't know what's going. Like y'all gonna have to really go somewhere else with this. Like, you know, it's not my business, but this ain't right, you know. And at that young age, I was able to know, like, oh, this ain't right, man. Y'all can't be doing this in front of us, or not even me at this point. I'm removing myself from it. I'm like, hey, you can't do this in front of my little sister. And I've always been like that, you know, type stuff. So yeah, man, if you got a different man in the house, I would say for sure, vet that man. If you wouldn't leave him over that man's house overnight, don't have him in your house overnight. Don't let him in there. Period.
That's real.
Period.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Man, as we come to a close on the episode, man, first and foremost, Travis, I want to thank you for being our first guest on the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And I was about to segue you, cuz you jumping the gun. I was gonna segue you.
I got you.
I was gonna say, man, I was gonna segue you. You gonna edit it out, all right? You know what I'm saying? Being the first guest on the podcast, you know what I'm saying? My cousin had something special he wanted to give you and Ayana to show y'all his love for y'all wedding. I didn't know y'all was already married. I was gonna say union, but for y'all wedding this Saturday,
and a lot of people don't know. You know, we didn't really make it public information,
and
but
it ain't nobody posted.
It ain't, you know. But it was just like, hey, man, it's something we did. I just felt like I wanted to say that to y'all, man. Just sitting right here, like, hey, we actually celebrating a year come Saturday.
Congratulations,
you know,
absolutely.
I appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, they say that's the hardest one, and it wasn't hard. So yeah, we gonna be all right. For sure, man. I appreciate you, brothers, man.
Yeah, Teron got something to give you, cuz. I hear you, cuz. Skip the segue. Yo, my man.
That's an outfit, and that's an outfit for your wife.
Oh, love, bro. Love
that's
it.
That's from the Original People Fashion Brand.
For sure, brother. And we definitely gonna do some talking about the Original People and just trying to get some things together, you know, for the greenhouse. Cause I got a few clothing ideas and man, in my mind, I don't want to get it done through nobody else. I don't even know if that's something you do, but hey, man.
Yeah, that's great. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing that. That's why we rebranded right now, because I'm working on how to make the craft, on how to make my own stuff, man. Take that cotton. Man, we should have talked about that on her, but you gotta come on here again.
Yeah, and we will, and that's what we said. Maybe we'll do the cooking thing. You know, we'll do a little collab, and we'll be in the kitchen somewhere.
Let them know all your information again.
Oh yeah, again, it's AT from the Greenhouse Network. You find us on YouTube, TikTok. You also find us on Instagram. We are currently, at the moment, we haven't been posting anything for the last 2 months, you know, because of the wedding and everything got going on, but here in the next couple of weeks, going to be back rolling. And we're going to have content rolling out. We're going to have some on-camera live events coming up. And like I said, we're going to try to do some collabs with these brothers. And hopefully we're able to get some we are. Yeah, I got to remember. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. Mine too. I had to remember. Like, wait a minute. I forgot where I was. Like, nah, we ain't trying. We gonna do it, brothers. And for sure, anytime anybody's out in Colorado or Denver, man, for sure, come out and check us out. I'm always have some vegan eats that's gonna be ready to go. Is, you know, just it's at the house, but you know, we're gonna be doing some pop-ups, and we're getting a lot of stuff going, man. But this is the time now, and honestly, I'm happy it's at the beginning of the summer, so you guys are gonna see a lot of this stuff rolling out. You know, I'm happy to actually be here with you fellas, man. I'm so glad we got this done.
Man, absolutely, it, man. We could have had this to go for 3 hours if we wanted to.
Oh yeah, nah, we could have. Hey, we could have cut it up. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, family, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Lead Your Lineage podcast. And as we always love to say, lead yourself so you can lead your lineage. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Peace.